Hello everybody, how are you all doing? I trust that you're well. Welcome back to my channel, and if it's your first time here, karibu sana. Today we have an interesting video. I am going to be meal prepping for my family. So we are going to be making lots and lots of food. We are going to be cooking and cooking some more. I want to make food that we can have over the next several weeks. So I hope that you will enjoy this process and that you will give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly consider doing that as well. Before I start the cooking, let me first give the kids something to energize them. So I have some apples, oranges, grapes and bananas here, so I'll just chop them up and give them so that they can be eating that as they wait for lunch. These are the foods that I'm going to be preparing today. I have a kg of yellow beans which I haven't boiled yet. I have jahe or lab beans, some people call them black beans. I have dengu or green grams, and for the meats I have meatballs, a kg of minced beef, a kg and a half of chicken breasts. And in that I'm going to add carrots, some coriander or cilantro. I also have tomatoes and tomato paste, also some ginger and garlic. I also have bell peppers, red onions, some courgettes or zucchini, some potatoes, and I also have some peas that I have already boiled. I usually like to start by dicing and chopping and blending everything that needs to be blended so that it's ready to go when I'm cooking. So here I'm starting with onions, and because there are many, I'm going to just roughly cut them and then use the food processor to finely chop them like so. And I'll do the same for the tomatoes and also for the bell peppers. I added the tomato paste in with the tomatoes so that as I was processing them, they could mix really well. One thing I like about using the food processor is that when processing tomatoes, I don't need to add water. Even with the onions, I did not add water, unlike the blender where for it to function, for it to start, you need to add a little water, and you'll see here I'll add a little water so that I can be able to process the bell peppers. This food processor comes with both the processing bowl and the blending jar, so it works as both a processor and a blender. It's now almost lunchtime, and I want to start with the meal that we are going to have for lunch. So in the big pot I have some water that I'm going to use to boil some spaghetti, and then on the pan I'm going to make some meatballs.
Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone.
I prefer to cut my spaghetti into two. I don't know why, I don't have a reason, that's just how I've always made them. So I've put the spaghetti in and I'll just let them boil. For the meatballs, I'm just cooking them in the pan with some oil until they are nice and golden brown, until they are nicely cooked on the inside. And then I'm going to make a sauce, and I'll put them in that sauce to make a nice spaghetti stew that we will use, or rather we will eat with the spaghetti. I'm going to use the same pot. The brown stuff you see is not dirt. I'm not going to wash it off because that's actually flavor from the meatballs. It's going to make the stew even more flavorful. I like adding vegetables to meatballs because sometimes my kids don't like taking vegetables, but they love meatballs. So when I put the veggies in the meatballs, then they are able to eat them. So I've added carrots. I'm also going to add some courgettes, the tomatoes that we blended, and the bell peppers.
Stop just in time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. I hate all this overthinking. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver, no more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar, bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out.
For the spices, I'm using coriander, paprika, curry powder, and some Royco beef cubes, and then I'll put some salt later. Most spaghetti sauces that I've seen don't have a lot of vegetables. It's just tomatoes and some spices. I also make it that way sometimes, but like on days when I'm not planning to make veggies on the side, like today, because I need this meal to be for lunch, so immediately I'm done cooking it, I'm going to serve it to my kids to have for lunch. That's why I've decided to add the veggies, so that as they're having their stew, it comprises of veggies and meat. It has protein, it has vitamins. It will be good for them.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface.
Now that I have added the meatballs in and some salt to taste, I've also put some water. I'll just cover it and let it cook for a few minutes, and it will be ready. This meal turned out great. It was so yummy that I decided to have a plate myself before I continue with the cooking.
Of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
The next thing that I want to do is to marinate the chicken. I have my chicken breast here, which I have washed, and now I'm drying with kitchen paper towels. So I'm going to divide it into two, and I'm going to cut into cubes, half of it, and the other half I'm going to slice into two pieces horizontally. Here we are, all done. For the marinade, I'm using salt, garam masala, coriander, curry powder, and paprika, and also some oil. So I'm going to pour that all over the chicken, and then using my hands I'm going to mix it in all so well so that all the pieces of chicken are well coated with the marinade. I find that I have a lot of spices in the house. I keep buying more and more spices, but when I come to cooking, I always reach out to the same ones that I'm used to, which are these exact ones that I'm using here right now. So coriander, curry powder, paprika, and garam masala, and also Royco cubes. So in this video you will see me adding spices in the foods, and that's basically all I am adding. I don't usually use all of them in every dish. So for instance, for meats, I like to add garam masala, but I don't add garam masala to beans. I don't know why. I don't like the taste of garam masala in beans, but I like it in meats. So I'll just pick some of the spices as per the dish I am making. You will also notice that I am using the same spoon in every jar, and I'm okay with that. The jars are repurposed coffee jars. They are Nescafe jars that I washed and removed the labels and put my spices in them. So definitely they don't come with individual spoons. So I just find it easier to use the same spoon, and so far no problem. I covered the chicken with some cling film and set it aside to marinate for the next 1 hour. And in the meantime, I'm going to make some beef stew. So remember, we have the minced beef and we have dengu, so that's what I'm going to make now. In the pot at the back, I'm going to make some dengu, and the one at the front, I'm going to make beef stew.
Seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.
In the dengu, I have added some grated carrots, and in the beef stew, I am putting potatoes, carrots, and I'll also add some peas, and at the end, I'll add some coriander or cilantro.
Keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going life. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. Back a year ago.
Clearly I need some bigger pots. I've been thinking about getting a new set of pots for a while now. I still haven't saved for it, but I think it's about time I start saving for that, because I am in need of some pots. Before I go to the next meal, let me first boil the beans, and I'm using the pressure cooker to do that. And here I have a tip. So before, when I was boiling beans, I was using little water. I was filling the water up to the half mark. I was only using 1 jug, so that would be it. This was my previous way of doing it. So now I'm putting 2 jugs of water, and I'm filling it up to close to the max line. So this way, when the beans expand, they will still be submerged under the water. Previously there wasn't enough water, so the beans would expand and some of them would be pushed above the water, and the ones that would be above the water would not cook. So when I would open the pressure cooker, the beans would be cooked below, the ones below would be cooked, but the ones at the top would not be properly cooked. So now with that much water, the beans cook very well and very evenly. Our next dish is the chicken. So I'm pan frying some of the chicken, and then the rest I am going to cook in this pot. So I've already fried some onions, and I'm adding some garlic and ginger paste, and then I will add the chicken that we cut into cubes. I made a very big mistake with this chicken. As you can see, it looks really nice and juicy here, but I felt like it was taking too long to cook on both sides, and I also felt like it wasn't cooking properly. When I cut the cooked pieces, I felt like they had not cooked properly, so I decided to put them in the oven. After I had pan fried, I put them on a tray and put them in the oven, and that was my big mistake, because the end result was chicken that was hard and very dry. But at least now I know what not to do next time. So here I have some tomato paste that I have diluted with water, and I am adding dark soy sauce. So I'll just mix that up and pour it onto the chicken, and then later I will add some bell peppers.
Back a year ago, I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on.
This chicken ended up being everybody's favorite. I will definitely be making it again. It was juicy, it was delicious, it was so flavorful, and everybody enjoyed.
I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago.
And now I'm going to make some jahe, and I like to add lots and lots of carrots in jahe. So I have added diced carrots. I'm also going to add some grated ones. Here I'm adding some blended tomatoes, and I'll also add tomato paste and some spices.
Keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going life. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays. Way back a year ago.
A lot of people don't like njahe, but personally I like them. They are packed with lots of nutrients. So that there that I'm putting is corn flour that I mixed with some water. I put it there to thicken the soup. So as I was saying, njahes are really good. They are packed with nutrients. They have a high protein content, so they are really good. And the last thing I'm going to be making today is the yellow beans. So I have already fried my onions and put tomatoes and spices. Now I'm adding sausages and then I'll add the beans. I'll also add some dark soy sauce in this one, and that will be it. So as you may have noticed, today I was dealing with stews. So I made quite a number of stews. So during the week I will be making the starches, that's ugali, chapati, mukimo, mashed potatoes, rice and the rest, including the veggies to go with these stews. But having made them, it definitely makes my work a bit easier. Oh, I should mention that I do not batch cook the starches, so it's not like I will make a lot of rice, a lot of ugali and a lot of all these other things and store them in the freezer. No, I make them on the days that we are having them. So if you're having rice today, I'll boil some rice. I just make a point to make more than we need for one meal so that we can have it over a few meals. And yay, we are done. So this is everything that I was able to make today. I have my meatballs, minced beef, dengu, chicken, beans in sausage, some njahe, and there we have our chicken. You can see what I was talking about. It doesn't look very vibrant, but it was okay. We enjoyed it as well. And now I'm just going to pack all these into containers and then store them in the freezer so that we can be enjoying them as time goes by. And here we go. I ended up with 22 containers of food, which will take us around 3 or so weeks. So yes, I'm really happy about that. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.